Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing well today. In a couple of hours, I'm actually heading to the airport to fly to California for a weekend trip for my friend's birthday. Today is Friday, so we're leaving in just a couple of hours. We'll have all of Friday night to hang out in California, and then tomorrow, Saturday, we're actually spending the day in California Adventure and Disneyland. So we have park hopper passes, and we'll be switching back and forth between the parks throughout the day. And that's the only day that we actually have in Disneyland. So it's a really quick trip, and we don't have very much time in either park really because we have both parks to explore, but we're going to try to get as much as we can in. And then the next day is Sunday. We're going to probably go to church in the morning, and then our Airbnb is really close to Newport Beach. We're like a few minute walk away, so we're going to go and probably hang out at the beach most of the day, and then we will fly home really early on Monday morning. So it's a very quick trip, but I'm super excited to go and to bring you guys along with me. Alrighty, so we of course had flight issues. It seems like that always happens with me. And so we ended up getting to California about 6 hours after we were supposed to, which meant that we got to our Airbnb and immediately just went to sleep because we had an early morning the next day. We got to Disneyland right when it opened and started off in California Adventure. And as you can tell, even though we had no sleep, we were really excited to be there, really excited. So we started off heading over to Pixar Pier. That's where the lines seemed they were the shortest, and we actually were able to basically walk right on to the Incredicoaster, which is a super fun roller coaster, and this one is Incredibles themed and just really cool. It had lots of different interactive elements to it, and was one that I wish I could have ridden a couple more times, but it actually ended up breaking down after we rode it, so super glad we were able to ride it when we did. As you can see, we really enjoyed this one. We then made our way over to the Toy Story Land, which I think we ended up riding a ride. I believe it's called Midway Mania, but we got these awesome 3D glasses, and you sit in these fun little carts, and you have some blasters on, and then you are kind of taken, it's kind of reminded me of like a fair, where you have lots of different targets and bullseye that you're trying to hit, and you get pulled through lots of different rooms and scenarios that happen in Toy Story, which was pretty fun. We then walked over to a ride, I believe it's called Soaring Around the World or Around the World, something like that. It's kind of like an airplane themed ride, which we really enjoyed because we're all big fans of Top Gun. And it actually takes you through different parts of the world, and it blasts different scents and sounds and things like that that have to do with that part of the world. So in Hawaii, for example, we had very tropical scents. In Africa, it smelled like grass and dirt, so quite fun. Then we headed over to the Little Mermaid ride. This one also had zero line. You walked straight onto it, and this one's definitely a little bit more of a chill ride. It's not a roller coaster. It's more of a storytelling ride, which I really enjoyed. I love The Little Mermaid. It's a movie that I watched for years growing up, so I was glad to be able to get and watch and go through this ride. We then began making our way over to the swings. Now there's a couple different sets of swings that you can ride at Disneyland. This one is the first one we started on. It's kind of like a rocket shaped one, and it definitely was a little anticlimactic. It doesn't go very fast, it doesn't go very high, kind of more for families, but it was fun because we all got to sit together and go on it. And then we also headed over to these swings, which I think are more of like your traditional amusement park swings. These ones are my favorite types of swings just because I feel like you get to go a little bit higher and faster. So we enjoyed that one. We then headed over to the Inside Out Emotional Whirlwind coaster, which is so much fun. These are also some swings, not a coaster, they're swings, but these ones are definitely also for little kids or families. They don't go very fast, but they were still a fun ride to add to our list. Later, we headed over to the Ferris wheel, and we ended up getting one of the cars that also twirls around while you're twirling on like the main Ferris wheel. So that was a little bit unexpected. As you can see, we don't think that we would choose that one again, but it was still a really fun experience to add. We headed over to the Plaza de Familia afterwards over in Coco Land. Well, it's not really Coco Land, but we headed over there, and they had an exhibit up for Day of the Dead, which was super fun. And then we ended up ordering food right over there as well from Corn Dog Castle, which was recommended to us, and they are pretty good, so would recommend. Then we started making our way over to the Avengers campus. I really liked the Avengers campus. It just had fun little elements everywhere. This is where we actually saw the most superheroes or actors, cast members acting as superheroes. We got to see Spider-Man and some people from Black Panther, which was really fun. And we headed over to the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. I don't actually know what this is called, but it's the old Tower of Terror ride. And this one had a lot of cool elements. Walking through the line, you had lots of cool things that were interactive, and then you also went through a few different fun rooms when you were still in line to prepare you and get your instructions for the ride, which we really enjoyed and kept us entertained while we were waiting. And I wasn't expecting this ride. I had no expectations for this ride, but this one had a lot of sudden drops, which was quite fun. And as you can see, we all really enjoyed our time. Then we headed over to Cars Land, which I heard was the best land to go to, and I loved this area of the park. I feel like aesthetically it was so cute, very realistic to Radiator Springs, what you would see in the movie, and I just loved walking around this, seeing all the different shops and places to go and hang out. Just made me feel like I was in the movie. I really, really did like it. Now we got recommendations to head over to the Cozy Cone to get churros. I did not end up getting a churro, but we heard that they were delicious and it was such a cute little area. Then we wanted to go on a Cars Land ride. Unfortunately, the ride broke down twice while we were waiting in line, and we stood in line for about 2 hours. Decided it wasn't worth it, and we ended up leaving. We didn't get to ride it, so if I go back again anytime soon, I would love to ride this ride, but fortunately we were unable to make that work. After we headed over to Cars Land, we made our way over to Hollywood, or maybe it's called Old Hollywood, I can't quite remember, but we walked around Hollywood for just a few minutes, got to explore some of the fun little elements that they have there, and then we ended up heading into one of the buildings to watch a show. Now, the show that we ended up going to go see was called Turtle Talks with Crush, which you'll see in a second. It's so fun because they have a real voice actor there behind a screen somewhere, and live animation is happening as well. So you get to be really interactive with him. He's talking to you, you get to talk to him. He's hilarious. The guy who is the voice actor is so funny. We really enjoyed this part, and it only lasted about 20 minutes, so it was quick and easy and something we enjoyed. Then we headed over to the Ghirardelli factory or Ghirardelli store, got a hot fudge brownie sundae called the Land's End Sundae. Oh my goodness, the sundae changed my life. It was so good. We ended up heading over to Disneyland after this and just walked around a little bit, went through Main Street and downtown Disney, and just took in all the sights that they have for Halloween, which I really adored and just thought was so cute and a fun added element. Of course, we wanted to continue our food crawl, so we ended up ordering macaroons earlier in the day. So we went and picked those up, and I will say it was so cute. I don't see the hype about it. I think it just tastes like a regular macaroon, but it was still good. Not life-changing, but it was still good. Then we ended up getting lunch. I got mine from a little restaurant. It's like a French restaurant. Everyone else got bread bowls, and we just sat over in Cafe Orleans, or in the New Orleans area, got serenaded by Jack Sparrow, and then headed over to Star Wars Land to Oga's Cantina, where we were able to sit and get some drinks and some extra desserts, which was so fun because this actually has like a live, well, it's not live, but they have a droid DJ in there. So we had some fun music going on, and then we ended up getting some yummy food. So we got some pretzel bites and some Jello, and then we all got drinks as well. So I got a Jamba Juice, and it was very yummy. And something fun about this environment is that the droid actually breaks down in the middle of your time while you're at the cantina, and they have all these workers come in and bang on the pipes and stuff and get it back up and running again. So it's pretty fun. And then we continued to just walk around Star Wars Land. We got to see stormtroopers. We saw Kylo Ren. You just saw us with Boba Fett. And it was just such a fun area to walk around in. It just looked and felt so real. So we really just enjoyed spending time here. We next hopped on to the Millennium Falcon ride. I can't quite remember what that ride is called, but it was really fun. So we were able to get into like a pod, and you fly a ship. So you have people in your group. There's 2 pilots, there's 2 engineers, and then there's 2 shooters if you have 6 people. If not, you kind of just base it off of what you have with with who's in your group. And we loved this ride. In fact, I'll show you guys a clip in a second. We were sitting screaming and laughing throughout this whole ride because we just really enjoyed this.
Okay, it's much worse.
After this ride was over, we headed over to the Rise of the Resistance ride. I think that's what it's called. This ride we did stay in line in for a long time, but it was the ride that we all wanted to do the most, so it was worth it for us. You're in there for about 15 minutes, and this ride is so cool because it's very interactive. You are going in and out of different rooms. You're being held prisoner by the stormtroopers, and we really did enjoy this ride because it's just so different from any other ride that we had been in before. And it was my first time on this ride, and everyone else had been on this ride before, but it was still like kind of broken, so there were lots of new elements that we all were able to experience for the first time. And afterwards we all kept saying that that ride was just so cool. When we were done with this ride, we headed over to the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, but we stopped by the Haunted Mansion just to see it. The line was so long because it was like the night before Halloween, but we ended up getting to see the laser show because the Pirates ride was actually closed. So we got to see the laser and light show that they do for Halloween, which was really cool because it was my first time ever seeing that. I mean, look, you guys, it was so beautiful. And honestly, a great way to kind of end off our time at Disney because it was getting pretty late. We then headed over to the castle where they do a special fireworks show every night, and we were able to see that, and it was just a great way for me to end my time at Disney because we had been there all day long. My feet hurt, everything hurt, but it just ended off in just a way that just seemed so magical and something that I will never forget. Good morning, everyone. We had a lazy morning ahead of us. So today's Sunday. We went to Disneyland yesterday, and it was so incredibly fun, but also we were there for 14 hours, so long. So definitely we were able to sleep in today, and we're gonna head to church here in a little bit. And then I think we don't really have any other set plans for the day. We're gonna go to the beach most likely, and we definitely have dinner reservations later, so we'll go to those. But other than that, we're hoping for just a really calm, relaxing, chill day. So we went to church that morning and then decided to head to the Newport Beach Temple, which was right across the street from our church building, for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And this temple is my favorite. It is so beautiful. The gardens and the grounds are gorgeous. We kept calling them botanical gardens, and it was just so peaceful and just really pretty, and a great way to start our afternoon off. After that, we decided to get some lunch. We headed over to Sancho's Tacos, which is really close to our Airbnb. And as you can see, the inside was so cool. It was all graffitied, super fun, and the food was also very good. So we ended up taking the food home to our Airbnb and just eating there before we headed over to the beach. And the beach is so much fun. We loved it. It was so warm, which was so nice because it's so cold here in Utah right now. But we just decided to play around and relax for the next couple of hours. Towards the end of the day, we actually did get to see some dolphins jumping out of the water, which was really cool. And then we decided to head back to our Airbnb to freshen up before we went and got dinner. We had reservations at this Spanish restaurant called Cafe Sevilla, I can't quite remember, but we really loved the atmosphere of this place. They had live music, they actually had some Spanish dancing going on, and really delicious food that we loved very much. So we had a great time here, and because it was my friend's birthday, we were able to get some yummy dessert on the house from them and just really enjoyed this time together to end our trip off. After that, we headed home because we had a 3 a.m. wake-up call to get to the airport the next day to fly home, which was so early, but we were very grateful for our trip. All right, everyone, so we are back in Utah now from our vacation. We had so much fun this past weekend. Definitely need time now to relax and rest, to gear up for the next couple of weeks with all the holidays coming up, but we enjoyed our time so much in California, and I just have nothing bad to say about it. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys all in my next video very soon. Bye!